Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Hi everyone, back again with another selection of 80s one-hit wonders. I bet you can't wait. I realised when I trawled through all my 7-inch singles, which are up here somewhere above here, I realised I had more than enough for 2 videos. Probably maybe could even stretch to 3 if I throw some 12 inches in. But we'll see. But yeah, I decided I would do another video because I enjoyed listening to all this lot so much. So, not in any order, just in as they come. And I'll put a playlist down below so you can sample the delights of these singles. So the first one up is Broken English and Coming On Strong. Now Broken English had a hit with Coming On Strong in 1987. This reached number 18. So this is, now I have to get it right, I think it was written by a guy called Steve Elson, yeah, who basically played in a Stones tribute band, as if you wouldn't guess by the sound of this, because this is a Rolling Stones record in all but name, basically. It's a great single, really great single. B-sides are useless. And everything else, well, they disappeared basically after this. Didn't have an album or anything. Kind of a Ghostbusters vibe to the video, I remember, and going by the cover picture. So there we go. So that's a laugh, that song. And going from the Stones to a kind of Beatles-inspired thing. So we've got this. Now this is I Don't Mind At All by Bourgeois Tag. 2 guys named Bourgeois and Tag, very imaginative band name, released on Island, got a printed label there. So this is it's a really lovely song actually. It's really beatly. Made number 35, only number 35 in 1988. Produced by Todd Rundgren. I would really like to track down the album this was on actually. If this is anything to go by, I'd really like to track that down. And since it's produced by Todd Rundgren, it's probably an interesting listen. Yeah, it's on the island. Great single. Really should have done better than it did. Next up, absolute classic one-hit wonder from a band. I've got other singles and I've got their album as well. They really should have done way more than they did. So this is Life in a Northern Town by Dream Academy. So this was a hit in 1985, reaching number 15. The song is actually, I think, it's kind of, yeah, on the back, it's dedicated to Nick Drake and Steve Reich. But it's a lovely, lovely single. Kind of folky, but then really redolent of a summer's day in Britain. Just absolutely gorgeous single. Absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic stuff. On Blanco y Negro. They were a really good label. I think I've got quite a few records on that label. Great label. Lovely stuff. Going a bit more funky with the next one. So we've got a band called Hip Sway. And this is a track called The Honey Thief. So this made number 17 in 1986. So this lot were from Scotland. And they're actually a band formed by, now I'll get his name right, Johnny McAlone, who's from Altered Images. They only had I think they stayed together to produce one album before Johnny McAlone nicked off to form Texas, or he joined Texas, or he helped form them or something. It had something to do with founding Texas. But this is a great funky pop song. Just a great song. Not really anything else I've got to say about that one. I've always loved this song. But it just brings so many bands in the 80s just won, you know, their 15 minutes of fame, and that was it. Right, the next one. This song has been sampled so many times. So many hip hop records, especially in the late 80s, have sampled this. So this is Ofra Hazhar, and this is Imninaloo. So I'm trying to think now. I think she sampled on Mars, Pump Up the Volume. She's also sampled on Paid in Full by Eric B. and Rakim. And this is the original Eastern sounding single. I love this song. It just came as a out of left field for me. It was really different. And what I loved about the charts in the 80s is you could have just really odd songs and they would just come in from nowhere. Really plain WEA label. Just come out of nowhere and get in the charts, which I don't think that would happen anymore. Ofra Hazhar did also feature in some songs for the Sisters of Mercy. Now I think she was on the song Under the Gun. And I'm trying to remember if she was on the re-recording of Temple of Love. I'm not sure if she was on that as well, or one of those she was on anyway. So there we go, Ofra Hazhar, and this reached, can I say when this got to? Number 15 in 1988. Terrific stuff. Now I watched a video by Rob Walker, who did his countdown of one-hit wonders, and he'd had him from like 1970s to the early 90s. Did he include some 90s stuff? I can't remember. But he did include this one, and rightly so, because it's a fantastic song. So this is Furniture, Brilliant Mind. Kind of a song about questioning. It's a questioning song, I think. Questioning what it is to be, questioning finding your place in the world and all about that. Released on Stiff. Where's that? Stiff. It's that Stiff label. Quite a late one. This made number 21 in 1986. Only Brush with Fame. I do have the album this came from, and very vague memories. I'm really going to have to dig that out again and listen to it, but this is a terrific single. Absolutely fantastic. Real, based on a really strong bass line. Real deep vocal. Really well produced as well. It's a really good song. So this is Screaming Blue Messiahs, and this is I Want to Be a Flintstone. Now, yeah, it's a joke song, but they were a good band. I've listened to their album Bikini Kill, and it's a really good album. There's Fred on the back. So yeah, daft song. Or the subject's daft, but if the lyrics had been about anything else, it would have been a great song. Would have been a really good song, but wouldn't have been a hit probably. There you go, Screaming Blue Messiahs and I Want to Be a Flintstone. Godfathers-esque, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, one of the classic 80s singles for me, absolutely brilliant, is this one. And I've only picked this up recently, and I was so happy to pick up the picture sleeve of this. This is Turning Japanese by the Vapors. Blinding single. This is quintessential new wave pop. Apparently the story that this is all about what you look like, well, it's basically a stalker song. It really is a stalker song about a guy who can't get enough of a girl, so he has to have a million pictures plastered all around his cell. Now the popular urban, was it an urban myth? But the popular opinion is that basically Turning Japanese refers to his your face the singer's face as he was pleasuring himself to these pictures. Apparently that's not correct, and apparently it's all to do with an exhibition of teenage angst. Well, you choose if you want to believe that or not, but there you go. All I know is this is a top single, and I was so chuffed to pick it up recently. On the UA, just a UA label. What I loved about the 80s was there were some daft singles, absolutely daft. Yeah, there was some absolute rubbish, but you get the odd thing which is just so daft, it just becomes genius. And this I class in that. This is Toto Coelho and I Eat Cannibals. Absolutely ridiculous song, ridiculous image. I mean, dressing up in bin bags. I don't know why. Was this some sort of post-futuristic chic? I don't know. I can't remember the reason why they would have dressed up like that. It's kind of chant-like. Very, very, almost nursery rhyme-esque song. Definitely new wave. Interestingly, a couple of the members actually went on to other things. So we've got, or there's other things to say about them. We've got Roz here. That's Bob Holness's daughter, for those of you who remember, the British members of the audience who remember, what's it called? Blockbusters, the teens quiz show. Well, that's Bob Holness's daughter. And that, Anita, she would change her name, and I can't remember what it changed it to. Well, it changed her surname, and then go on to sing with Andy McCoy as the guitarist in the Cherry Bombs. So, slight change of musical outlook there, but there you go. Toto Coelho, I Eat Cannibals. And that reached number 8 in 82. Oh, and Turning Japanese actually reached number 3 in 1980. That was a massive hit, that was. I remember that quite fondly. Another top 10 hit, this time an American band. So this is Animotion, and this is Obsession. I love this. I could not get, this is another Earworm song for me. I could not get this out of my head, and I bought this at the time. Basically, it's all based around a driving synth bass riff, or synth bass line. Absolutely brilliant duet on this. And what I didn't know is this is actually a cover. It was, I can't remember who sang, but Michael DeBar, who went on to replace Robert Palmer as the lead singer in the Power Station. I do believe wrote it. Yeah, H. Knight and M. DeBar. And it was, I think it was included in 9.5 Weeks soundtrack, or it was on the trailer for it or something. Quite nice. Unusually got for such a minor band, it's got a custom label, which is quite nice. Picture of the band. So yeah, it reached number, what did this do? Number 5 in 84. So this is a single. Absolutely superb stuff. Right, I've got an artist here. Now, this was her only chart hit, top 40 hit, but she recorded with Style Council. I'm not sure if she was recorded with Wham, but I think she might have done backing vocals or something with Wham. But her only top 40 hit was See the Day, and this is DC Lee. This is a fantastic 60s style ballad. The Girls Aloud version absolutely murdered it, just pants, but this is a fantastic Dusty-esque ballad. Totally 60s. Absolutely loved this. And the B-side's got the Paris Match on it, which is performed by the Council Quartet, which is DC Lee, Paul Weller, Steve White, and Mick Talbot. So there you go, a bit of Star Council on the B-side. I think that's it's on CBS. I don't know why that's on CBS. I would have thought that would have been on what's Weather's label called? Somebody will put it in the comments. But terrific single. Never heard anything else by her. Not her solo stuff. Don't know. But there you go. Love that. And that reached number 3 in 85. And then reaching number 6 in 83 was Fiction Factory. I mean, it's a Fear Factory, but that's a metal band. Fiction Factory with their kind of piano-based ballad. Feels Like Heaven. This was a nice little song. I mean, 84. Yeah, I was getting into stuff like The Alarm, The Bunnymen, The Smiths, but every now and again there'd be a pop song that would pop up, and I'd still love them. And this is one of them. I think they're Scottish. Fiction Factory. On CBS again, this time one of those kind of labels. Pretty boring. But yeah, good song. Fiction Factory. Right, we've got a number 1 single up next, and there's a link between the two singles, the last two. So first up, we've got It's My Party by Dave Stewart with Barbara Gaskin. So this is a kind of synth pop reading of the Leslie Gore single. This was everywhere. This was absolutely everywhere. I think it was number 1. It seemed to be number 1 for quite a while, 4 or 5 weeks or something. Now I know that these two were both in prog rock bands. So Barbara Gaskin was in Spyro Gyra. Dave Stewart was in the Egg. And then they both eventually moved into Hatfield and the North, and then started working together after that. Released a whole load of singles, but the only one that got any traction was It's My Party. And it's a great one-hit wonder. A number 1 one-hit wonder. Ex-jukebox copy, I think, on Stiff. Absolutely great stuff. And I just have such memories of singing that to myself walking around. Now, there is a link between this and the last one, which was a number 2 single in 1984, I think it was 84. Yeah, 84. So the last single I'm going to show is Holding My Shoe by Neil from the Young Ones. This is the best song that came out of the Young Ones. Forget that travesty that they recorded with Cliff. That was dire. But this is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Cover of a Traffic classic with suitably altered lyrics, just to reflect Neil being such a ruddy hippie. Now, the link between this and It's My Party is Dave Stewart basically played just nearly every instrument on it, and Barbara Gaskin did the backing vocals. So there you go. Anyway, loved this. This was really funny. And even now it still brings a smile to my face. I love the Young Ones, and I loved this song. I think I bought this on the same day that I bought When Doves Cry, which is a bit bonkers. But great stuff. So there you go. A second batch of 80s one-hit wonders. Hope they brought back a few memories. I know they did. It did when I was playing them. Absolutely love going through this lot. So, thanks again for watching. And thanks for watching yet another Whiffly Waffly Piffle video that I've done. And I'll see you all again soon. Cheers, everyone. Bye.